Okay then, let's get started with this course. In this video, we'll set up our work environment for the development. So for that, first of all, we need to download our code editor. So throughout my tutorials, I'll be using Microsoft Visual Studio Code. And if you want to follow along my tutorials with the same text editor, you can download this Visual Studio Code from the official website, which is code.visualstudio.com. So simply type this address in your web browser, and then it will take you to this official website of the Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Or if you are lazy to write this one, to type this one into your browser, so you can simply go to your search engine. So in my case, it's Google. So and in the Google search engine or in your search engine, so simply type Microsoft Visual Studio Code, and then the results will pop up, and it's usually in the first it's the first one in the result, so in the search result. So go to the code.visualstudio.com, so and then it will take you to the same website as this one. All right, so now we need to download our code editor. So now this one suggests me that I download Microsoft Visual Studio Code for Windows. So, but if you're, for instance, if you use, for instance, Mac operating system, so you can still download it. So you simply click on this arrow link, and then just hit Mac operating system. Or if you use a Linux operating system, you can download for Linux as well, and I recommend stable version. So, but I would like to point out that these Windows and Linux versions, these are for 64-bit operating system. But if your operating system runs on 32-bit, so you can click on this one, other downloads, and then it will take you to the other downloads page where you can download Microsoft Visual Studio Code for 32-bit. So once you download this Microsoft Visual Studio Code, you need to install it. And then once you install it, there will be this kind of icon on your desktop. So simply click on the icon, and then so it will take you to this kind of application. So, and now what we need to do is we need to create a folder, and I have already done that. So I have created a folder and I named this one leaflet. So please create a folder and then name it whatever you want. And now what we need to do is we need to open this folder in our Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So for that, what we need to do is we need to go to File and then Open Folder. And then since my folder is on my desktop, I need to go to my desktop, and then I need to select my folder, which is leaflet, and then you need to click select folder. All right, so then it opens up your folder in the Visual Studio Code. And as you can see now, this one says leaflet, but if you open a new window, it's gonna be, like getting started Visual Studio Code. So now in here it says leaflet. So that means we have opened our folder in Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So okay, so now what we need to do is we need to create 3 files in our folder. So this one, this navigation pane in here, we are in our folder. So you can see this one. You say Explorer leaflet. So that means we are in the leaflet folder. So now let's right click and create 3 files. One would be for HTML, and the other one would be for JavaScript, and the last one would be for CSS. All right, so I'll show you. So right click and then new file, and let's create a HTML file, and I'll call it index.html. And then let's create one for JavaScript, and I'll call it main.js. And the third one would be for CSS, and I will call this styles.css. Okay, great. So now what we need to do is we need to link this main.js and styles.css into this index.html. All right, and I will show you later on why. So now go to index.html and then type doc, and then it suggests this one, or you can simply click on this, or you can hit tab on your keyboard. So do whichever works for you the best. So now it creates it will create HTML document for you, which is nice. So now what we need to do is, as I said before, we need to link our JavaScript and CSS files into our HTML. All right. So now we'll start by CSS, by linking our CSS into this index.html. So in the head section, this is head section. You see, this is head section, and in the head section, right after this title tag, this is called a title tag, and we'll create a tag called link, and that link is this link tag is used for linking CSS files. So in the href attribute, we need to specify our CSS. So since our files are in the same folder, what we need to do is we need to type dot and then /, and then it shows you all your files in the folder. So as you can see, I have 3 files in my folder, right? Index.html, main.js, and styles.css. So let's select styles.css, and in the body section, so we'll now jump over body section. So, and in here we need to type script, and that's for linking JavaScript into our index.html. So in here we need to write source, and that's for specifying the source file. So in our case, it would be main.js. So we'll write dot / and then main.js. So just to make sure that you understand, so we have created this leaflet folder, and in here we have created 3 files: index.html, main.js, styles.css. So, and we have created 2 additional tags, one for our styles.css and one for our main.js JavaScript file. So we have linked them into our index.html. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to run this index.html, right? So, and for that we'll be using a plugin called Live Server. So if you go to this one, extensions, actually you can call it extension or plugin. So if you go to this last button, extensions, click on that, and then in the search box, please type Live Server, and then hit tab. And the first one, Live Server 5.61, which is 5.61 at the time of writing this, at the time of recording this video. But if it's 5.71 or 5.81 or something, don't worry, it's fine. So just go to this Live Server, and then here there will be install button. All right, or in here it will be install button. So, but in my case, I don't have that install button because I have already that one on my computer, or I have already installed that one in my Microsoft Visual Studio Code. That's why I have only disable and uninstall options. But in your case, there will be install option. So just simply install it. And once you install that one, go back to index.html. And if you want to go back to your folder, go to this one, Explorer. And in here, if you right click, there will be additional options in here. So this one, open with Live Server. So that means if I click on this, open with Live Server, so it will open this index.html using Live Server. All right. And if you don't have this Live Server option, that means you haven't installed this Live Server extension. So you need to install Live Server, and then there will be this kind of option. So click on this, open with Live Server, and then it will open our document, or our index.html document, in the browser. But as you can see, we don't have anything. That's fine, because we don't have anything in here. We don't have any code in the main.js or in here either. So what we need to do is we need to check that we have correctly included our script or main.js and our styles.css. So the question is, how shall we do that? Well, it's very easy. So for that, we should write window.alert, and then here you can write whatever string or whatever text you want. So I can write it works, or alternatively, you can write console.log, and in here we can write it works. So I'll show you later on what we have done in here. Okay, so now go to styles, and we want to check that we have linked our styles.css into index.html correctly. All right, so now what we do is we do box sizing. This is very basic styling, border box. So, and then we don't want any margin or padding. That's why in the body section, what you need to do is margin, then 0, and then padding 0. All right. And what we need to do here is background color red. Okay. So now we have some code in here, and we also have some code in here. Let's go to our browser and just simply refresh it. You don't have to, because I have already, in here, I have already opened document, right? Index.html. I don't need to click on this and then open it with live server again, because I have already opened it in here. So now just go to that one, and it says it works. That's great. And also, if you click OK, so our background turns red, because in our styles.css we have background color red. So that's fine. So this one, it works, is coming from this one. It works from the window.alert. All right. So I'll show you. So if you go here, now it says it works from the window alert, or message from the window alert. Now, if you right click, and then if you click on this inspect, and if you go to console, it says it works. And here as well. And this one is coming from this one, console log. All right. So I think everything is clear in here. So again, I just want to recap what we have done in this tutorial. We did very basic things in here. We have first of all downloaded Microsoft Visual Studio Code. We have created 3 files, index.html, main.js, styles.css, and we'll link these 2 files, main.js and styles.css, into our index.html. All right. So that's it regarding this video, and I'll see you in the next one.